Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. I picked 10 classes that are great to get started on when you first start playing MapleStory after the Destiny update. These 10 classes get the job done, even without a lot of funding. I based my 10 classes on their mobbing, bossing, mobility and tools, all when of course unfunded. But before we go over all 10 classes, first a word from today's sponsor, Opera GX. We talked about this browser before and it's back with even more features. No other browser allows for customization like Opera GX does. You can change themes, colors, or just customize everything from scratch to your liking. You can even add special animated wallpapers of your favorite anime. I got this one from the King of Pirates himself. We all know that the games that we play on this channel are quite the grind, and Opera GX has a super useful feature that I love to use when I'm grinding. You can pop out YouTube videos using Opera GX. This way I can keep grinding while also watching my favorite anime or my favorite MapleStory content creator. You can even continue watching on your phone using the Opera GX mobile app, so you won't be left waiting with a cliffhanger. But wait, there is more. You can even connect your favorite music streaming services to Opera GX for a seamless integration, no matter which service you use. Switching browsers is pretty easy as well. Just synchronize your bookmarks and settings and you're good to go. It is easy to use and you'll never miss a beat while playing your favorite games. If you think Opera GX is something for you, click the link in the video description or in the top comment to download. Opera GX is of course completely free. We're starting this list off with the Dawn Warrior. This class was known as a hidden OP class, but I think most people know that it's just really an OP class by now and very easy to play. Dawn Warriors have great mobbing, which is pretty simple. Just use one skill and you'll use your main mobbing attack while switching between your Sun and Moon stances automatically. Their 5th job skills greatly enhance their mobbing as well. There's no lack of damage or damage alliance with this class. Their bossing is also just fine, with a bit of a quirk that you're launching yourself in the air when you use your bossing attack. They do have their own bind and invincibility frames through their hyper skill. This class will get remastered though later this year, fixing their bossing skills so that you no longer launch yourself in the air. Do keep that in mind. There is one more thing with this class though. The smoothness of your stance switching is dependent on your ping even after the remaster, so while this is a great class, if you have high ping, this class will not feel that great. The next class on our list is one that used to be memed on, but it's actually pretty decent right now. The Jet class excels at mobility. Their mobbing and bossing is decent and you can cheese some of the boss fights by jumping on your space bike and flying away. Jet's base stats are pretty okay. They have one crazy skill called Slipstream Suit that increases your main stat dex by 45%. Nothing crazy. Jet is an easy one button for mobbing, one button for bossing class. Jet's damage isn't as crazy as for example the remastered Bowmaster or any other recently updated class, but it's very solid. And their mobility makes it in my opinion a very fun class to play as you can easily get around the map. Combined with their decent damage and survivability to get a very beefy shield when they're on a space scooter, it is a decent and fun class to get started out on even as an unfunded Mapler. Jet's Legion and Link skill is pretty good as well. Next up is the healing class of goodness, the Bishop. If you like a more supportive playstyle but still want to dish out the damages, this class is in a really good spot at the moment. Bishops have very high base stats like critical rate, which makes it easier to reach your full potential without having to heavily invest in Legion and Link skills. And they have their own Holy Symbol skill, which allows them to train even faster as they'll get a ton of bonus EXP. The Destiny update has buffed Bishop's damage significantly, and after reaching level 140, they can change their supportive skills into offensive skills, which helps with both grinding and solo bossing. And of course, you're still a welcome sight in bossing parties due to all your supportive skills. Another remastered explorer that's in a really good spot right now with easier grinding, survivability and very high base stats is the Explorer Marksman. Honestly, most explorers are in a really good spot right now, but the one that hits the mark the most is the Marksman. This class has super high base stats and damage, and thanks to their newly enhanced mobbing skill, the once so-so mobbing that this class had is a lot better now after the Destiny update. Their bossing is also very straightforward with their snipe skill, and they can even place down an arrow illusion that draws in monster attacks. Complemented by their 5th job skills, their mobbing is also absolutely bonkers with their 5th job skill Split Shot. Thanks to their few attacking skills, it's a very easy to master class and it's easier to find the right nodes when it comes to upgrading your skills in 5th job. Check out this class if you like to hit monsters from afar with a lot of damage. If you enjoy a not so straightforward playstyle with lots of skills to use and choose from, then perhaps the Anima Thief Hoyoung is better suited for you. This class honestly never struggles, it's very mobile and has plenty of damage to dish out. Hoyoung buffs all his attacks as he job advances, which makes all of them very viable to use. Together with his crazy mobility and the warp portals he can place down, this class has no problem getting around in bigger maps. And his clones, his summons, his butterflies can take care of monsters you don't hit as you zoom around the map, complemented even more by his big 5th job skills. This class does have a lot of skills to use and 2 gauges, which makes him a bit more complex, but once you get used to his skills and you find a nice rotation, this class won't be troublesome at all to play. Next up is a classic, the Demon Slayer. His bossing attack and second hit of your mobbing attack will always be a critical strike. They have relatively high base stats, a crazy amount of mobility with a dash, a glide and a teleport, you name it, and great survivability. This class is a no-brainer when it comes to starting out unfunded. Even if you end up not liking the class, it has a great link skill anyway, so you can't go wrong with this one. His mobbing does plenty of damage, it can feel a little bit clunky and you gotta like the demon aesthetics, but even that, Demon Slayer's fake job skills are pretty amazing when it comes to both bossing and mobbing. You'll feel very powerful early on with this class, especially after hitting level 140, because you'll get a skill at that point that just doubles your lines with no drawback. In the near future, this class will also get some quality of life changes, like for example the ability to hold down the lash skill instead of having to tap it all the time. It's a great class to get started out on, you even get free weapons up to level 100 I believe. Next we have another warrior, the Aaron. If you prefer comboing with your skills but still want to have an easy to play one button class, then check out Aaron. Aarons have steadily been getting buffs over the years and have a unique playstyle with their combo mechanic. Aarons use their basic attack together with their arrow keys to perform different skills, or if you want to, you can just use the skills by themselves. You can zoom around the map when attacking, have great vertical mobility and can pack quite a punch. Their base damage is pretty good early on. Together with their self-healing drain skill, it's very easy to keep playing this class without having to worry about much. They even have their own bind and plenty of invincibility frames. Then there is the good old Isolating Mage. As a remastered explorer, this class is even better now. The Destiny update improved their mobbing and bossing even more, while this class already was very solid. Frozen solid you might even say. They're one of the 2 explorers that have their own bind, and their ice spells can slow boss monsters, which makes things pretty easy during those fights. Their main mobbing attack has a higher chance to critical strike and bounces pretty far. Together with your 5th job skills, grinding is a piece of cake with this class. And they even have some burst damage in their kit as well, with their hyper skill attack and 5th job skills. Not all their skills are amazing for bossing, but most of them get the work done. I think it's a pretty good balance between mobbing and bossing skills, and with the improvements to their teleport, dodging attacks is even easier now after the Destiny update. If you like to play an elemental mage as an unfunded character, check out this class. Then there are 2 classes left. Next up is one that did not get any buffs with the Destiny update, simply because it didn't need any. The Adele class is to this day still very powerful and easy to play. This class can summon small kitchen utensils to help with mobbing and bossing. They can block attacks and have pretty decent mobility as well. They aren't a class that's as straightforward as for example the Dawn Warrior and require a bit more micromanagement to keep up with their swords that are flying around and the small buffs obtained from dashing to crystals. But besides that, their mobbing and bossing is pretty easy. You mainly will be using just one attack and some debuffs, and that's kinda it. This class does have its own bind as well, so no worries about needing to get that from your 5th job nodes. And speaking of nodes, those are relatively easy as well, because you don't have that many attacking skills, and the ones that you do have are generally pretty useful. Adele is so easy and powerful that it was regarded as playing MapleStory on easy mode if you just were playing this class. Now that the explorers and other classes have caught up though after the Destiny update, it's not as crazy OP anymore, but still this class packs quite a punch, even without any funding. And just looking at all those swords flying around, it has something magical to it. The final class that I want to recommend is for those looking for a more tanky playstyle. I already praised the Explorer Paladin enough, I feel like, in recent videos, so this time I want to put the spotlight on the Dark Knight instead. This class focuses on leeching life with attacks and not dying whenever they die. The Dark Knight has a very unique revive mechanic. They can choose one of 3 revives to trigger once they die, giving them invincibility and a longer or shorter cooldown depending on the revive chosen. This together with their healing makes the Dark Knight a very forgiving bosser where your mistakes aren't punished as hard. Like if you die you get a buff even or you become invincible, so that's pretty convenient. Their main bombing attack isn't that amazing, but they do have various short cooldown attacks that they can use to deal big AoE damage. These attacks are usually available every few seconds, so you'll be using those quite a lot when you're grinding and bossing. And to top it all off, this class has pretty high base stats, making it a very solid unfunded class to get started on if this playstyle is something that might interest you. And there were my 10 unfunded classes. What do you think about the list? Anything you'd like to add? Let me know in the comments. And that's all for today. As always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian, Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Anwar, NHI, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Froggy, Vyra, Trevor, Michael Machaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, ceemak, Striker Elk, Tidal1Pan, Victor Sundstrom, Radical Jaws, Riser RU, Gummy Bullet, Lovebird, Sir Tito 655, Mathias Simonsson, Mr. Narc, Orlando Belavia, PC Game Life, Dante Victory, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, I'm Disappointed, Lucky Beats, Gable Eck, Pedro Benedetti, Conrad Castales, Ace Light, Ben Wolf, Max Bernhardt, Dog on a Talkerbox, Muka 1017, BNB King, Scotty Flies Fast, Priscilla, Brandon Cam, Shake One, Vague Botnet, Fecco, Gianfranco Calderon Canavero, Necrodart, Mythiu Death, Only, and Rashid Almarudi. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling!